Dzień dobry, witam w kolejnym odcinku. O, Roboskorpion mnie zrespił pod nosem. Nie ma to jak chamskie zrespienie hordy przeciwników pod nosem gracza. Tak, to jest zawsze mile widziane. W wszelkich grach respienie hordy przeciwników pod nosem gracza po tym jak użył opcji automatycznej podróży. Tak, to jest zawsze mile widziane, gro, wiem o tym. Że jesteś bardzo miła i że uwielbiasz respić przeciwników pod nosem. I że to nawet do twojego hobbitu jest nowej świeckiej tradycji. Dobra. Wejdźmy tutaj. Więc weźmy sobie antyrady, weźmy sobie, gdzie mamy radix? Dużo radixu sobie zewryjmy. I co? I mamy działko Tesli Eliacha. Co powiesz na to? Z działa Tesli, będziemy cię jebać. Już. I co? I co ty na to? I co ty na to? Nie mam dostatecznej potęgi jak działko Tesli Eliacha. My power is superior. Chociaż mogłem to zapewne zrobić inaczej. Ale skoro wybrałem eksterminację, to trudno. Nie był trudny, szczerze mówiąc, no bo ja po prostu jestem tak wysokolevelowy, że dla mnie taki przeciwnik, że jest takie jedno wielkie mech. Mogłem, szczerze mówiąc, go rozbroić. I nim pójdziemy do kopuły, to ja bym chciał się tutaj rozejrzeć. Tutaj zapewne była opcja rozbrojenia kolesia, ale... Mech, skoro ja jestem potężny, to... Skoro ja jestem potężną postacią, to korzystajmy z tego, że jestem potężny i nie muszę się bawić takie podłe, prymitywne sztuczki jak powiedzmy wyłączanie przeciwników. Ponieważ to jest sztuczka prymitywna i niska, niegodna dla prawdziwego wojownika. I musimy się zmierzyć z doktorem Mobiusem. I'm Dr. Mobius! Dobry, że nie Dr. Who. Miałbym problem. Ja bym się miał z nim zmierzyć. Jeps. Czyli tutaj mamy generatory. Co, mogę je rozpieprzyć? Mogę. I co mi to dało? Nie wiem, co mi to dało. Hops. Tu jest jedno wejście, tam jest jeszcze jakieś kolejne jedno, oczywiście wszystko sobie sprawdzę, nim pójdę do kopuły. I pogadam z misterem Mobiusem, to muszę sobie wszystko posprawdzać, co by nie było. Nie ma to tamto. Wszystko musi być posprawdzane. A to ostatnią pioseneczkę tego to sobie oleję, bo mech. Czy ja muszę szukać wszystkiego? I tak większość questu zbierackiego wykonałem. Zatem what the fuck? I co? I tutaj można niby kolesia wyłączyć. System sterowania zwierzyczką napięty przeciętny. I To można sobie włączyć wieżyczkę, żeby strzelała do tego. Bo w sumie fajne. Jeśli miałbym oceniać. Hops. Hyc. Więc tutaj, czyli jakby ktoś szukał terminala do wieżyczek, to już wie gdzie jest. I terminal awaryjnego wyłączania. Aha, czyli tutaj można było go sobie wyłączyć. Oczywiście włamię się do tego terminala, bo ja muszę złamać wszystkie terminale. Na satysfakcję. Widzę terminal jest bardzo trudny, to stanowi dla mnie wyzwanie intelektualne, mentalne i życiowe. I mój mózg odbiera moralny nakaz włamania się do terminala. Jak to jebać to robot Scorpion został zniszczony, tutaj wrat Scorpion, tutaj whatever. I zastanawiam się, czy będzie możliwość dyplomatycznego. O! Mamy próbkę dźwiękową kolejną dla naszego tego. Bium. Oj, jakaś fajna broń do walki z nim. Tu jest, spoko. Czyli jednak zebraliśmy to, co chcieliśmy. Dobra, zatem tutaj save all i może nawet duży save. Na wszelki wypadek, na wszelki wielki. Bo to jest już końcówka tego, więc ja wolę sobie robić duże save'y. Ojej. I Mobius! Siema Mobius! Ej, Mobius! Siema ziom.
Hello there. You are there, aren't you? Forgive my confusion. So hard to tell these days. You seem familiar somehow. I'm guessing you're here for your brain, perhaps? It's just up there. Such a nice brain, young, very bright. Little hard to see you. Can you walk into my left, right FOV cone? Ah, that's it. You're coming into focus nicely.
Lepiej?
Depth perception is a problem with this old monitor of mine. Went black a while ago. That's old age for you. Should look at getting the visual nerves reattached. It's just that the right eye would see the wrong things. Flying tortoises were the worst. Would you care for a mentat?
Dzięki.
I love mentats. Delicious and smarty. I have all sorts of amazingly science-erific thoughts and ideas when those chalky tablets are zipping through my biogel. I forget them all not long after, though, especially with the data constipating my memory core. Afraid binary streams might shoot out my chassis. Had to start using the dome floor and walls here to inscribe equations, although I've somewhat lost track of where they start and end.
Jesteś kimś innym niż można się było spodziewać.
Really? That implies preconceived notions, theories, and a hypothesis about this meeting? Please extrapolate. What was I supposed to be like? After all, it might be worth a cognitive realignment if your theoretical Mobius is better than I.
Dlaczego ukradłeś mi mój mózg?
Oh, a variety of reasons. You're something of a homily. Anomaly? You're really quite special, and not in the cranially challenged way. You see, you are the most successful brain extraction experiment ever performed here at Big Mountain. A victim of your own success, as it were. If you were to go back with what your brain knows about the procedure, well, Your brain could be popped back in and you could walk right out of here. Can't have brains moving around of their own volition.
Wyczesamy. Potrzebuję mózgu, by móc opuścić to miejsce.
Now, that seems to be rather hormonal of you. Flight or fight response, you know. Hard to cut that out completely. Your brain is here, safe with me. We chat over mentats.
Ciekawi mnie parę kwestii.
Oh, curiosity. I experience that less now that I know everything. Or maybe it was when I found out some unpleasant answers.
Nie zdołam naprawić monitora, ale jeżeli masz zakłócenia interferencyjne, to mogę pomóc.
The ghosts aren't real? That changes everything. Why, I can save my computing power for other perceptual impossibilities. Please be my guest. The receptor is there, and the side-switching wobbly bob, just turn that. Good, good, better. Oh, yes, that feels wonderful. This is even better than my afternoon mentats break.
Możesz mi opowiedzieć o tych twoich roboskorpionach?
Well, every scientist needs an army. Mine came to me after these rather large scorpions kept coming in from the desert, like poisonous frosting. How scary, I thought, but they had survived when nothing else had. Perfect candidates for improvement as a reward for their tenacity. Then I thought, what if they shot energy bolts and acted as walking eyes and data-drained computers and acted as bullhorns? Then I made them bigger. Then I thought about custard. I do so love custard. Or was it mustard? Mustard custard. I miss sugars and salts.
Ciekawi mnie parę kwestii. Nie wydajesz się agresywny. Dlaczego wciąż zastraszasz think tank?
Oh, I was probably tripping hard on Psycho when I sent that. Had to work myself up to it. Not usually violent, except when I am. Then, watch out! So many chems, such varieties. Whenever I take mentats, I can feel my entire chassis breathe like a big spherical lung. As for the Psycho, sometimes get the chem dispositories in my tank all switched up. Go in the wrong tube. Still, served its purpose.
Zaraz. Wygląda na to, że zbudowałeś roboskorpiony już raz groźby, by think tank miał się czym zająć.
Did I? Maybe I did. Can't have them leaving. Some reason for it. Ethics or, conscience? You and your brain are quite alike. I'm sure it knows the reasons better than I do.
Wygląda na to, że zapomniałeś, na czym miał polegać twój wielki plan. Zaskakujące, że wiesz, jak się nazywasz.
This name's as real as you or I. Although I believe your brain expressed similar incredulity at the nature of such an appellation. Someone's been watching too many old-world science fiction movies, it said. I believe it meant me. I must admit I have a vulnerability for holotape fantasies of planets and robots and all that is forbidden. As for the name I was born with, like the think tank, we were all reprogrammed to forget them, take on new names. It enforces the recursion loop in our perception programming.
Zaprogramowałeś ich imiona na pętli rekurrencyjnej po co? By zastawić sidła na ich procesory?
Now, trap is a rather harsh word, like excrement. Not an inappropriate word, but still rather harsh. But, yes, I did take some liberties with their programming. It's all right, they don't remember. I certainly didn't until you said trap, and then I said excrement, and then...
Po co ich uwięziłeś?
The radar fence to keep the think tank hemmed in wasn't really enough. They keep testing things. They would have found a way to disarm it. I suspect I have Plan 9s in place, but I may have coded myself to forget them, just in case. They're probably very dangerous, lethal, or worse. So I had to do something else to keep them occupied here. Or as you like to say, trapped. I prefer to have several Plan 9s in case the 7s fail.
Klein, Mobius, okrążając symbol nieskończoności, rozumiem, to wszystko pętle.
Oh, you figured it out. No pun intended. Dr. O, which is actually not his real name multiplied, since you can't multiply his real name in the first place. Ouroboros, Klein, they have all forgotten themselves. And not only themselves, but the world, sense of time, and history. All that is left is what's here. I reprogrammed their chronometers, geometers, and cartography programs. This is now their world, here, Big Mountain. It was a merciful lobotomy, really, thinking back. They were my friends, but sometimes they would take things too far. And the world isn't ready for that kind of too-far thing-taking. That's my professional opinion, anyway. And I am told I was once quiet professional.
To mały szczegół, ale wąs pozerający własny ogon nazywa się Ouroboros, nie Ouroborus.
Really? It is so unlike me to make an error in anything I do.
Skoro think tank został poddany lobotomii, to po co jeszcze terroryzować?
Well, it's simple. Despite their many failings, they are rather bright. They are the think tank for a reason. That I didn't change. Without something to distract them, make them afraid, they would simply deduce what had happened. And when they start deucing it up, then you came along, the final variable solved. They saw that their world was larger than they perceived. Bacteria, finally able to see its host.
Musiały się pojawić jakieś sygnały, że świat jest dużo większy.
There have been other visitors to make them doubt their perceptions, but you are the one who dialed back their monitor micromagnifiers. You were irrefutable proof that there was a world outside. And then there was the whole brain fiasco, which forced me to take steps. See, your brain had a special kind of wrinkle, a uniquity that they had never thought to try in all their countless escape attempts.
Kula, która weszła w mój mózg, doktor Mitchell próbował mi poskładać, ale...
Yes, very good. I should have mentats in just you instead of the other way around. Mentats. In any event, you showed up at the think tank, and because you had suffered a cranial injury in just the right place, bullets in the head are usually much more fatal, and yours was a light case of bullet headitis. But it was enough for the autodoc in the sink to change its programming to fix the problem, and the brain extraction technology for once worked. That gave the think tank the knowledge its brains couldn't possess. With that knowledge, the procedure can be reversed. If they obtain that procedural data, they can use it to mush and modify their cranial selves into hosts to slip past the radar fence. I'm sure of it. And once they're off the reservation...
A więc jeśli mózg nie wróci do mojej głowy, nigdy nie zdołam się stąd wydostać?
Oh no. I doubt your brain would be so unreasonable. It already knows the trick of it, you see. Doesn't need to be in a host body at all. If you become friends or exist in an uneasy truce with weapons aimed at each other, it would unlock the fence for you. Well, once the think tank was dealt with, of course, your brain is a responsible sort. Doesn't want mad scientists running around everywhere.
Klein mówił, że wpadłeś na pomysł, by zdobyć te 3 technologie akurat po twojej wiadomości. Przypadek?
I consider coincidence to be profanity, along with the words astrology, herbal tea, and luck. So watch it, potty mouth. My threat broadcast is designed to instill and install fear. And along with the emotional download, other data rides the fear carrier wave. It prompted them to focus on retrieving those technologies and bring them to attack me. And coincidentally, pardon my language, all those technologies are needed to put a brain, your brain, back into its skull properly.
Jakie przeznaczenie mają te technologie?
The X2 antenna can be used to focus your alpha wave frequency thought patterns. The sneaky suit, why, it houses a cardiac regulator. And the sonic sound wave projecto emitter was never intended as a weapon. It was a medicinal vertebrae pulse desensitizer. In short, brains, a heart, and courage. Spine. I think there was a story once where a band of murderous thugs sought these things. They had them all the time in the story. Didn't stop them from murdering to get them. And it won't stop the think tank either.
Czy w twojej było w równej wiadomości, było w równej wiadomości by jakieś inne dane?
Yes, my overly aggressive cammed up broadcast was designed to keep reinforcing the forget, fear, rinse and repeat program. Oh, and the get me the things to castrate your only possible escape attempt. But I couldn't delete you or your arrival any more than I could the other visitors. Only so much science can do when you started talking to them. You're really quite difficult to ignore, you know. It's because you're, well, rather intriguing, if you'll forgive an old brain for saying so.
A think tank ściągnął schematy, nie przedmioty. Mogą je odbudować.
Oh, that means my plan is a total failure. That is unfortunate. Oh well, at least I tried.
Ciekawi mnie parę kwestii.
Yes, yes.
Muszę odzyskać mózg.
Do you? You seem fine without it. And does it even want to go back with you? Maybe you should ask it. It's quite independent, has all manner of opinions. Tell you what, I'll leave it up to your brain. If it wants to go, then fine. If not, well, you should respect its wishes.
Muszę już iść. Do widzenia.
Indeed. The goodbye part of our little chat then. Goodbye. Please mind the equations on the floor.
Spoko, to był długi dialog, moi drodzy, ale... Dobra, to sobie usuńmy i mamy się udać w stronę naszego mózgu, czyli tutaj. zbiornik na mózgi. I pogadajmy sobie z naszym mózgiem. Siema mózg. Siema ziomuś. No nawet gadanie z własnym mózgiem. Tak, rozmawiaj, zbiornik na mózgi. Mam nadzieję, że go przekonam do powrotu. Jesteś moim mózgiem?
Ah, lovely. Figured that out, have we? Would you like a cookie?
Sarkazm jest nie na miejscu. Spotkanie z własnym mózgiem to dość niecodzienne zdarzenie.
Yes, well, believe me, the opposite is equally true. Good lord, have you bathed at all since they pulled me out of you?
Tak, podczas biegania po kraterze pełni dziwacznych eksperymentów higiena jest najważniejsza.
Well, I see sarcasm hasn't eluded you. Fine, perhaps now isn't the best time, but it's the principle of the thing.
Słuchaj, jesteś moim mózgiem, więc zacznij mi okazywać nieco więcej szacunku.
Oh, had I? What exactly will you do if I don't? Not put me back in that cranial dungeon you call your head? Heavens forbid.
Jak już wejdziesz do mojej głowy, mam zamiar oglądać telewizję. Często, długo, masę telewizji.
You wouldn't. That's inhuman.
Oczywiście, a potem każdego wieczora będę pijać drinki, alkohol plus formalina.
You're a monster. A deranged, self-destructive monster.
Nie chcę wrócić, zdawało mi się, że się ucieszysz. W jaki sposób Mobius przed posiadaniem mojego mózgu?
After the think tank extracted me from your skull, they fell to bickering amongst themselves. I'm sad to say we were quite forgotten about. Dr. Mobius saw an opportunity to gain some leverage and had me spirited away to his dome.
Jak mu się udało?
I don't know. I'm afraid the trauma of our separation rendered me quite insensate. I didn't come around until I was safely ensconced in this tank. I'm quite sure whatever he did was highly scientific, though.
To wygląda na zupełnie nieprawdopodobny zbieg okoliczności.
Hardly. Dr. Mobius keeps a close optical sensor on the goings-on at the think tank. As soon as he saw the opportunity, he took it.
Cóż, chyba mamy odpowiedź. Przejdźmy dalej.
Well, as long as your curiosity is satisfied.
Nie chcesz wrócić? Zdawało mi się, że ucieszysz się, mogąc wrócić do mojej głowy.
I'm not going to lie to you. The prospect is definitely not that appealing. Look at it from my perspective. Here I have peace, quiet, and safety. Well, barring the odd rogue scorpion. In your head, I've got poison, radiation, grisly injuries, and biological functions. Do you know how much more you can get done when you're not constantly looking for places to urinate? It's quite a lot, I can tell you.
A co z tobą jest z podmienieniami, z chłodnym powietrzem na policzku, z zapachem jedzenia, z miłością?
Overrated biological feedback. Believe me, you only feel that way because you've got all that meat. Oozing hormones.
Czy równie dobrze nie dałoby się powiedzieć, że się tak tylko dlatego, że brak ci tych właśnie hormonów?
I suppose you're right. That does call certain assumptions into question, doesn't it?
Więc mamy impas. Nie mogę czuć tego, co ja, a ja nie mogę czuć tego, co ty.
Indeed. Quite the conundrum. How do you suppose we resolve it?
Może powinniśmy sobie nawzajem zaufać i przyjemne wiadomości, że oddzieleni od siebie jesteśmy niekompletni.
I suppose there might be some advantage to that, yes. There's a chance that the reintegration would create some improved synergy between us.
Więc jak będzie, mózgu? Masz ochotę na kolejną porcję przygód?
Well, I suppose you've convinced me well enough. I'll rejoin your body if that's your final decision. Unfortunately, before we get to that stage of the proceedings, we have a problem. Even if I could settle myself back in your skull and reconnect all those pesky nerve endings, Dr. Mobius doesn't have the tools here. We would have to make use of Dr. Klein's lab, and I rather doubt the brains are inclined to share.
Dlaczego? Obiecali mi, że połączą nas z powrotem, jak już zrobię to, czego chcą.
And you believe them? I know you were recently deprived of my fabulous advice, but... Really? Once I'm delivered into their clutches, they'll find a way past the radar fence and the whole Mojave will be their playground. And that is assuming, of course, that one of them doesn't take a fancy to our body and decide to slip his own brain into it instead.
Jesteś częścią mnie. Wiem, że nie chcesz tego tak samo jak ja.
Well, I suppose I do miss those endorphin rushes when we save the day. All right, what's the plan?
Ja zajmę się mózgami, jeśli think tank chce dotrzymać umowy, zmusimy go do tego. Chodźmy.
Right. Look out, think tank. This brain is coming out of its jar. I suppose now that we're reunited, you'll want to fill your torso up with those other meaty parts the think tank took from us. Personally, I think your upgrades are quite a bit better. But now that I'm with you, the Sync's autodock can plug them back in no problem. Right then, off we go. Clyde will be in for a nasty shock when he realizes the pacification field won't work on a mind and body reunited.
Czy będziemy odzyskiwać oryginalne serce i kręgosłup? Myślę, że nie. Postąpimy transhumanistycznie. Sztuczne serce i sztuczny kręgosłup. I jak najbardziej. No to hop. I idziemy sobie stąd, do Kleina. Pogadać z Kleinem. Myślę, że go przekonamy. I kolejny fajny dialog będzie z Kleinem. I zastanawiam się, na co postawić dialogu z Kleinem. Na retorykę czy na zespół? Think tank. Chociaż odzyskajmy nasze serce i kręgosłup. Najpierw w zlewie, używając autodoktora. I tak mamy w sobie masę różnych modyfikacji i ulepszeń, więc użyjmy autodoktorka. Chcę skorzystać z usług. Wymień części ciała. Serce z powrotem. I kręgosłup dawaj z powrotem. Staw kręgosłup. I zrobimy teraz dużego save'a kolejnego. I lecimy, moi drodzy, do think tanku. Tak, jestem pewny, moi drodzy, jestem pewny absolutnie. Klein czeka.
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated into scrap
Niestety nie.
module parts as we hoped?
Udało mi się odnaleźć mózg, teraz doprowadzimy sprawę do końca.
I recommend watching your tone with me, lobotomite. Now, your brain. Hand it over, or we'll extract it again.
Nie oddam swojego mózgu. Jest parę spraw, które musimy omówić.
And what could we possibly have to speak about? You have the brain, we have the technology. All you must do is surrender. With it, we can finally leave this place. I cannot tell you how boring this place gets, chopping up the landscape and everything in it. And we have so many questions to ask your brain first. About this Mojave place. A fertile testing ground for our experiments.
Mowę skonsultuj się najpierw ze swoimi kolegami.
Nonsense. Confer, colleagues. Those are two words I do not recognize.
Dr. Klein, I must intersect. Please, do not harm the lobotomite.
I'm not going to harm it. I'm going to dissect it until it's dead. Why the sudden intersection, Dalla?
I cannot stand a sweet breathing organism breathing in and out to suddenly not breathe. We must keep it alive. For study. Slow study.
Dalla, these vocalized pauses are unlike you. What do you care?
Klein, you know, this lobotomite, it's a great sounding board. You respect ideology, right? This one's, well, it's got good ideas.
Silence, Dr. O. This is a think tank decision. Save your objections until after I have decided our course of action.
You know what, Klein? Stick a straw in your tank and suck yourself. Long and deep. And my name is Zero. Yeah, a big, fat zero with a slash through it.
The slash as a designator of... Why, that is brilliant. But how did you...
The lobotomite taught me that. Taught me a name is more than, that I should take pride in things like names.
No i dlatego warto wykonywać questy tych wszystkich ludzi tutaj.
And your theory of brain-gill beam oscillation? The Chinese had it first, you copycat.
How dare you? Brainial beam oscillation was solely my discovery. I expressly told you that and deleted all evidence to the contrary. It's 2-8. Why are you acting like this? You've never refused to commit necessary surgery before. And this lobotomite needs its surgery. A noble speech, but there is no room in my vocabulators for friend and lobotomite in the same sentence. The very concept, revolting. Perhaps you are irradiated with camaraderie radiation. We have chems for that. We can save you from your emotional addiction.
If I may, I feel as if I must be the voice of reason here. This lobotomite is much like us. Regarding even animals and pets as nothing more than avenues to promote science. There is good here. Instead of ending its life on the table, we should prolong its suffering in the name of science. Like good old Gabe, the finest of lab specimens.
Why am I even listening to you fools? Enough of this mutinous chorus. If there's a word I hate, it's mutiny. And the word jism, which never made any sense to me. It's ridiculous putting j and zm together like that. Nonsense! I count as 5. Like the mighty human hand I once had, with its 5 penises clenched in a fist.
Wygląda na to, że wasze obliczenia są błędne i szanse wyglądają marnie.
Nonsense! The mathematics of this situation are on our side, lobotomite. I believe... No, wait. Carry the 2, then... If this were a democracy, I would be concerned. We are too scientific for that. So just surrender.
To nie demokracja, placówka badawcza i ponad połowa twoich kolegów kwestionuje twoje odkrycia.
You dare use logic against me?
Tak. Oto jak będzie. To nie ja się poddam, lecz ty.
That's no deal at all. There's a whole world beyond the crater, filled with ideas and possibilities. We could have escaped, seen it all for ourselves, tested it, prodded at it, made it squirm.
Dam wam Mojave, dam wam cały świat. Będziecie bezpieczni, będziecie mogli eksperymentować.
For you? And for science? I have a strange sensation that I would like that. How odd. Very well, partner. The think tank is at your service as long as you do not destroy us.
I co? Wykonaliśmy to? A mamy jakieś unikalne opcje dialogowe z tymi?
So is Mobius as twisted as he looked in person? Can't believe you entered the Forbidden Zone and lived. None of us can.
A więc zero. Możesz podzielić się jakimiś fascynującymi odkryciami?
Yeah, I discovered more internal parts in the monitors here. If you could hold on to my discovery, I'd appreciate it.
Rozmawiałem wystarczająco długo. Spoko, ty.
The teddy bear lobotomite returns. My teddy bear. How can I assist in relieving your curiosity?
Mam dla ciebie prawdziwego plusowego misia, jeśli tego chcesz.
Whatever for.
Wydawało mi się, że je lubisz. Ciągle o nich wspominasz.
No, I like teddy bears.
Na pewno nic ci się nie pomyliło?
Teddy bears come in many sizes. Your size is what intrigues me the most. Some say that teddy bears can't be living, breathing things. They are wrong. They are large biological forms, breathing, heaving, snarling, coughing. Lobotomites are my teddy bears. Oh yes.
Wiesz, ten temat był poruszany. Idźmy dalej. Wystarczy. Spoko. Teraz być może z tobą jeszcze chciałem pogadać przed wyjściem. Pójdę już. Czyli nie ma nic. A ty?
The lobotomite who saved us. Hello.
Do widzenia. Czyli nie ma mi nic do powiedzenia. Klein. To będzie miał mi coś do powiedzenia, czy nie?
Thank you for what you have done. I feel an odd emotion. Gratitude? Attitude? No, wait. Gratitude. That's it.
Spoko, to na razie tyle, dzięki. Więc możemy, myślę, że stąd iść. Powoli się stąd zabierać. Tylko jeszcze w synku jedną rzecz zrobię, żeby już...
As it had been in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the brightest minds of the 23rd century. The courier watched over the Big Empty for years to come, caring for it and keeping its discoveries safe until they were needed to help others. Which had always been Big Mountain's purpose. Past the laboratories and science, it had always been intended as a place to build the future of all mankind.
The Sync Central Intelligence Unit was impressed by the amount of exploration the courier had undertaken. Facilities believed lost, destroyed, or ones that had simply gotten up and walked to new locations had been rediscovered by its intrepid new master. Internally, the artificial personality debated as to whether it preferred the old management to the new, and concluded that the courier's thorough approach to research and investigation was admirable and worthy of its respect.
Dr. Mobius continued his research undisturbed in the Forbidden Zone. As much as he had attempted to create better scorpions, he tried the same with humanity, with considerably less success. These failures didn't bother him overmuch. Once the rush of mentats wore off, he forgot he had failed in any event. After all, the bright young mind who had come to visit him in the Forbidden Zone had already exceeded his expectations.
The sink atop the dome bustled with the voices of a small town, constantly chirping, arguing, and snarling at each other. Still, this all happened productively in the interests of its new owner. The Sync Central Intelligence Unit discovered, despite its inversion code, it was comforted by the sense of community the other personalities gave it.
The biological research station, obsessed with seeding everything in sight, requested a transfer to the X-22 Botanical Garden, so that it might, in its own words, sensually fertilize the garden's smooth contours. The garden sent back a polite refusal, saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
Krypta 22.
Continued to devour all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip. It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese paperclip, and the whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination attempt. Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
The light switches continued to bicker and flicker.
This persisted until the day someone dropped a flashlight in the sink, and the two of them united in their hatred of the showboat. One of them eventually transferred to the Lightwave Dynamics plant and began a long, unrequited affair with one of the holograms.
The sink continued to ruthlessly scrub any particulate matter that came near it. Eventually, it gained access to the magneto-hydraulics plant and nearly flooded all the Big Empty in an attempt to scrub the crater clean. Once it learned of the innovative toxins plant, however, it gained new purpose. It sought to develop antitoxins to flush into its drains and counteract the poisons bleeding into the soil.
The toaster continued its psychotic spree, reducing all appliances in range to scrap electronics and spare parts. After one of its more psychotic episodes, however, the other Sync personalities decided enough was enough and dumped the toaster in a bathtub. Sparking and hissing, the toaster swore its enemies would rue the day when they had bread and no way to toast it.
Muggy did his best to collect coffee cups, although in his quest, he accidentally trapped himself in Higgs Village. It might have been the end for poor Muggy. Except, he found it peaceful there, tidying up the kitchens of the think tank professors back when they had been flesh and bone. Well, except for Dr. O, who was an asshole for having created Muggy in the first place. Muggy left O's house deliberately dirty, punishing the dishes and cups that lived there in blind revenge for serving Dr. O.
Blind-eye old Jefferson eventually discovered a new sound. Silence. It only made him more filled with the blues than before. It was rumored by the other personalities that he had a brief fling with the light switches. Although he forgot their names once too often and was soon left in the dark as punishment.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical, kept sewing up the courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre were bored out of their skulls in that toxic dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses, releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
As the courier ran through the X8 facility multiple times, the computers analyzed the test subject's movements. Rather than performing a superficial observation, they realized the subject barely knew what communism was, or even what a high school was.
This confused them for a time, until the facility finally realized that its research had succeeded. So it let its cyber dogs out into the wastes to help protect small communities from physical aggression rather than communist propaganda.
The infiltration program in X-13 felt spent, having repeatedly upgraded the stealth suit until it could upgrade it no more. It felt warm, fulfilled, and a bit sluggish. It realized not long after, the stealth suit had left it, without so much as a note on the nightstand. So the infiltration program sent out robo-brains into the wastes, looking for its wayward technology. It eventually found Repcon HQ, and set up a new research center, testing and murdering fiends who kept breaking into the facility.
The courier, organs intact, continued onwards, a little less heavy of step, but with all the organs in the right places, as they should be. After all, brains can develop a life of their own when left to their own thoughts, and the courier's brain was more clever than most.
Dr. Klein and the think tank remained alive, unaware of the world outside. They looped through their daily routine, none the wiser about the world beyond, although perhaps wiser was the wrong word. The world outside belonged to the courier, and if anyone would shape it, well, the courier had already called dibs.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
In the times following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, however, Old World Blues took on a new meaning.
Where once it was viewed as a form of sadness, nostalgia, it became an expression describing the potential for the future.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, science became a beacon for the future. There was old world blues, and new world hope, and hope ruled the day at Big Mountain.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal Ponder, the courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The sink sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the courier had to walk alone.
Okej. Dobra, moi drodzy, i fakt, że tutaj mieliśmy aż tak wielki wpływ na zakończenie, że tak mogliśmy ukształtować zwiedzanie pustkowi poprzez właśnie zwiedzanie pustkowi, poprzez wykonywanie questów połowy, że tak byliśmy w stanie ukształtować zakończenie, że tak byliśmy w stanie zaprojektować właśnie najbardziej zajebistą częścią tego DLC. I pomimo, że to jest to DLC i sprawia to, że to DLC jest porównywane z pozostałymi. I to właśnie mi się najbardziej podoba. Fakt zakończenia, że możemy je tak właśnie ukształtować, że każda nasza aktywność, każdy quest poboczny się liczy i zostaje odnotowany. W każdym razie tutaj kończy się moja seria z Fallouta, New Vegas. Do zobaczenia, cześć, trzymajcie się. Podsumowując, Fallout New Vegas 10/10, DLC wszystkie, pomimo, że nieraz się przy nich irytowałem, też 10/10. Do zobaczenia, cześć, trzymajcie się.